For years, one belief it has quietly spread across many immigrant families living in America. If your child is born in the United States, everything will eventually become okay. Many people believe that once their American born child turns 21, the parent automatically receive a green card. It sounds simple, it sounds logical, but according to immigration experts, this is not how the law actually works. Ladies and gentlemen, a recent explanation of the US immigration rules makes it kind of clear that birthright citizenship certainly benefits the child and it does not automatically legalize the immigration status of undocumented parents. Even if the child becomes an adult and files a petition for the parents, the whole process depends on how the parent originally entered the US. Those who entered illegally, they may still face major legal barriers, including leaving the country and possible long-term re-entry bans. And this is where thousands of Indian families find themselves trapped. Can you imagine spending 20 years in America, working, raising your children, building a home, watching your children grow as American citizens, but still living every single day without a permanent legal status? And that uncertainty never really truly disappears. Well, here many immigration lawyers say that one of the biggest misunderstandings it is believing that an American-born child automatically protects the undocumented parents from deportation. Unfortunately, that is not as simple as you think. Every immigration case, it is different. The way somebody entered America, how long they stayed, in fact, whether they overstayed a legal visa or crossed the border illegally, all these factors can completely change the outcome. Well, for some families, even applying for legal status, it can become too risky because leaving America to complete paperwork, it may trigger long-term bans on returning. And that is why many undocumented families continue living in constant uncertainty instead of applying immediately. In fact, recent court decisions have protected birthright citizenship. That is certainly good news for children born in America, but immigration experts say that parents should not assume that those rulings automatically solve their own legal problems. For Indians who are living abroad, this particular story it carries one important lesson. Immigration law is often far more complicated than social media posts or online rumors that is suggested to you. Well, before making any major decision, professional legal advice that becomes extremely important because one mistake can affect an entire family's future here. Now, when people talk about the American dream, they usually imagine immigrants arriving with nothing and slowly building a successful life. For the Indian community, that dream, it's no longer just about getting a job. Today, Indians are leading some of America's biggest corporations. As the United States prepares to celebrate its 250th year of independence, one list has attracted global attention. 5 Indian origin CEOs are leading some of America's most influential companies. They are leading businesses worth hundreds of billions of dollars and employing hundreds of thousands of people across the globe. Can you think about how extraordinary this journey has really been? A few decades ago, Indians were moving to America mainly as students, doctors, engineers. Today, many of them are running multinational corporations. Their decisions influence global technology, retail, healthcare, finance, manufacturing, and even AI. And this success, it's not just personal. It represents the growing influence of the Indian diaspora. Well, these leaders, they have proved that talent has no nationality. Hard work, it has no passport, and leadership has no borders. Their stories also inspire millions of young Indians who dream of building careers overseas. Success may take years. Well, it may require sacrifice, it may demand resilience, but it remains possible. The presence of Indian origin CEOs at the top of corporate America also reflects another reality. The relationship between India and the US that is no longer limited to diplomacy. It is increasingly being shaped by business leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs, and every new success story that strengthens that particular connection. But yes, while many Indians are reaching the highest positions in America, millions of people across the globe they are preparing for one of the hottest Independence Day weekends in the recent history.